All right guys, so I got this Whirlpool. This is a WTW 5000 DW1. Does not have an agitator. That way you can not be bothered, not be agitated. Know what I mean? Anyways, let's go ahead and change the rods out in this thing. If you have one of these and they start shaking real bad, especially during spin cycle, chances are you got some bad rods in this old girl, and these things are easy. So let's go ahead and swap out the rods on this old Whirlpool. Whoa, bring it home. All right, let's swap them out. So clearly I'm outside, but the first thing you're gonna wanna do, disconnect your waters, hot, cold, disconnect the power. Like I said, I'm outside, so this is already done for me. We're gonna go ahead and tape the lid shut. Chances are it's not locked. All I have is just some plain Jane painter's tape. Nothing big, nothing major, nothing too strong. Something's gonna come off there real easy. All you're worried about is not tearing up a bunch of stuff, because this lid in particular is made out of metal, and that's gonna hurt if it gets you. All right, so here in the back of the machine, we're not even gonna worry about this panel here. All we need is 1, 2 of these bolts taken out. So take those 2 out, and we're gonna remove this plate here with 1 bolt there. These are all quarter inch nuts. I keep saying bolts, but well, I guess they are bolts, they're not nuts. So 3 quarter-inch nuts. Now, if you remember, I did tape it, and I taped it pretty well, but since I used painter's tape, I cut the where the 2 sides meet so that we can pull it and get this thing out of here. So let me show you how to open this now. So these Whirlpools are very easy to open. What you want to do is pull the lid towards you, forward. You see it move about 1/4 inch or so. Lift up and then slide it back. And that's it. Now I got 2 little hooks here, and I don't care about this washer, so I'm gonna let it fall. If you care about your washer, you're gonna wanna put something back here so it stays up like this. But because I don't care, I'm just gonna drop it. And it's gonna stay like that. So now we're here, looking like we do. Now, like I said, you got 2 sort of hinges, and this is where they sit. This is actually where you bolted up the other side of it. Now, what we want to do here is we want to get this out of here. This guy is not very difficult, but it does sort of take a little bit of trying. Go ahead, and you see these little clips? There's several of them all around the tub. You just lift up and sort of move your fingers around and lift up again. So they're about every 6 inches or so. Lift up, lift up, lift up. Eventually this tray is going to come up. Oh, I got 2 more up front. There we go. All right, so that's loose. Let me get that out of there. All right, so because I'm using this washer as parts, this looks good. I'm going to keep this, just sort of set it to the side. Let's go ahead and get these rods out of here. All right, so the best way to do this, this is the front of the washer, this is the back of the washer. It doesn't really matter where you start. The best way to do this is 1 at a time. Don't do multiples and then think that you're going to be able to get it back together. Do 1 at a time. Now, I'm going to start here simply because this is where I'm going to start. Okay, so we're really zoomed in right here. What you're going to see is you're going to lift up and try to get that hook through this side. You can see there's 2 sides for the hook to go. One at rest, one it's hollow. So this is a hollow all the way through. So I'm going to pick up on my drum, grab the bottom of, there we go, and turn. And out I go. All right, so as you can see, the drum is sort of sitting this way. This is why you want to do 1 at a time. Right there is our rod. I'm not sure if you can see, but there is a cutout. Let me move my rod a little bit more. Where you're going to come out of. Can you see it there? we're gonna come out of that cutout right there. So I'm gonna try to do this on camera, but I really don't think it's gonna happen. We're gonna try to get that cutout right there, and that's how you get the rod out. All right, go ahead and squeeze this down here as well, so you can feed it through that hole there. So squeeze your black tabs there, and then feed it through my cutout. Okay, so here we go. Arm goes in, rod comes out. So when you're in there, get all that off there, sitting something like this, well, really like this, what you do is you squeeze your 2 tabs here, squeeze them in, the rod falls out, and you pull it out of that hole. Now, in order to get this back in here, which I'm going to keep these rods, but I am going to trash this washer, but I am, for the sake of this video, going to go ahead and put these back in. Measure your rod, make sure it's the same as what you had, and then get it all ready to go back in. Lift your drum, in and in we go. My black piece has lined up. It's now in there. Put it in my circle. There we go. Hooked on and in. Ta-da. 1 rod down. Let's go ahead and do the other 3. I'm not going to stop or take breaks, but I am going to go ahead and do the other 3 rods. Exact same process as the other side. Lift up and out. There's that. Push my black part here. Out it comes. Exact same. Like I said, these rods are good, this washer is bad. So I'm gonna keep the rods, trash the washer, in and in. If I can line that back up, it is. There we go. Now these are not the heaviest, they're not very heavy, but you are still going to have to do a little bit of lifting on this. And there's that rod. Let's go ahead and do this backside. And I'm doing this all live. No breaks. There's that. No breaks, no edits. All live. Rod out. It looks good. Rod back in. Lift it up and get a better hold of that. There's that one, and let's finally do our last one. There's that. There's it. Out. This rod is actually really good. Go ahead, put it back in there. Ta-da! All right, so before I let you go, this corner here, this is the corner where all the power goes to on the back side. Now, keep in mind, you have cords and wires here. None of them are wrapped around your rod. So just be mindful of where they are, don't bump them, and you'll be good. That's really your biggest worry. And other than that, that's changing rods on a Whirlpool. Let's get the lid back on and get it back. So we do have the sounds of outside going on, got some sirens. All right, so remember you have these tabs. Line them up with your tabs on the drum itself. Line everything up. And then really just sort of smash it back together once you get them all how you want them to go. As I knock my lid down, it's really not that hard to do here. So we're all lined up. Let's get the top back on it. All right, so for the top, fold everything back around. Let it sit the exact same way as you got it off. Pull it towards you and back. And we're latched. Still got to put our bolts in the back. Got our 3 bolts back here in the back. We're going to go ahead and put them on there. It's really not too bad. This guy here's got some hinges. Line your hinges up and get it in there. I'm using an impact because I don't care. But if you have a screwdriver or a nut driver, whatever it may be, then you'll be just fine too. It does not require an impact. I'm just using one just because it's convenient. And like I said, this washer's already broken. I'm just using it for parts. So, ta-da! All right, guys, this has been Working with Junk with Chris the Dude Nurse. So Whirlpool, I am not gonna lie to you, I love Whirlpool simply because they're so easy to work on. This is a very easy job to do. You can do it 20-30 minutes on a bad day. So don't worry about these Whirlpools. They're really easy to work on. It's just this one's really broken. Hope it helps. Thank you much.